Have you ever been asked, what's for dinner? It's the most dreaded question, I think, on the planet. What is for dinner? Our recipe book helps us answer that dreaded question of what's for dinner. So when we sit down for meal planning, we pull out the book and we pick recipes from there. And so the book came about for that very reason. And I found a binder that I had laying around the house, and I created different categories based on the groups that we eat. So there's chicken, beef. We don't eat a lot of pork and seafood, but there's a little section in there. Sides, desserts, and breakfast are the categories that we have. And so there is a certain criteria that the recipe has to fit in order to make it into the book. First thing is the recipe has to have ingredients that we normally keep in the house. And that's just kind of economical, and it's a good way to keep your pantry minimal, because then you're not gonna have a whole bunch of recipe or ingredients for recipes that maybe you decided you didn't even like. I mean, I go into pantries and I see thousands of ingredients, and you know, it might be for that one thing you tried during Thanksgiving and then decided, oh, I don't like it, and now it gets shoved and lost forever in your pantry. So it's a great way to keep pantries minimal and easy to organize by just using recipes that have ingredients that you normally keep on hand in your house. The second thing is it has to be quick and easy. Having too much prep and too much of a cook time is just not a good fit for us personally. And then the third thing is we try the recipe, and if it's delicious and it uses ingredients we have in the house and it's quick and easy, then it goes in the book. Here's a view into our recipe book. So this printable is actually going to be available for you. It's a family favorites meal. Now, sometimes we have meals that we love and enjoy, but we don't have a recipe for it because it's like tacos or something simple that you don't actually need a recipe for. But sometimes we forget what it is we like to eat. That's the whole point of the book. So I created a printable where you can just write down those easy family favorite meals, kind of write a note or maybe some of the ingredients you like with it to make it easy to remember those when you're meal planning. I'm also going to provide a free printable for you for cover sheets. They're not exactly like this, but it'll have a similar category. And then you can get the sheets and the tabs. I will link to those products as well. So we have chicken, we have our recipes in here. They're not really in any particular order because I think it's hard to really organize recipes that way. We have beef section, some of our favorite recipes. We don't have a lot in our pork and seafood. We don't really eat it that much, but we do have a few recipes. And sides, we're terrible at sides. So we've been trying to work on building up our recipe for sides because we're really terrible at coming up with ideas for that. And then we have a few favorite breakfast recipes, one that we use for Christmas morning, and desserts, our Christmas cookie recipe, and some other desserts here that we enjoy. Make sure you check down below for the link to the printables to help you create your own recipe book. And we initially, when we started this, we would sit down every week and find recipes to try so that we could build up our book. We've been doing this for, I don't even know, maybe a year or two. And so we have a lot of recipes in there. We do go through periodically and kind of clear it out of things that like, oh, maybe we made a couple times and then just decided we didn't really like it, or it did end up being a little more complicated than we thought it was going to be, or we just changed our mind, we're tired of that meal, you know, whatever. It could be a lot of different things. But we do go through and declutter because decluttering is a requirement of all systems. That's the only way that they can sustain and last. And so we do go through and remove items and add things periodically, especially as we kind of rotate through things and get a little tired of them. So I would love to hear about your recipe book and how it's helping you meal plan. If you like more videos like this, subscribe below, and I will see you next time.